Got you. Got you there. You're shocked. Wait, you're gonna make a cat cookie?
No. So as soon as I like that cookie, can I make a cookie out of it? No.
All right. It looks like we're almost done with the first section.
Wait.
You gonna hydrate? All right. All right, Genesis chapter 15, verses 1 through verses 6a. Do not be afraid. After these events, Yahweh's word came to Abram in a vision. Oh, pray.
Yeah, go left it.
Yeah. Jesus, your Holy One, amazing. Thank you that we can enjoy such pleasures as video games, good music, good food, good soup. We give it all. We first just thank you for creating Earth, creating so that we have taste buds that can taste the many flavor profiles of what we eat. And I know we're getting down to just the small stuff, but it's legitimately looking down to the detail and being thankful just brings it to a spirit of worship of thankfulness. For you're good and holy and amazing. As we read the writings of the ancients, please reveal to us what it meant for them, and in turn give us hope as we look forward to the death and resurrection of Jesus. And as we look to Jesus and his resurrection, we look forward to the resurrected body that Jesus had, and also the final judgment that we are already declared good, and how the kingdom of heaven is advancing here on earth. And the kingdom of heaven is nothing to be afraid of, unless you're an evildoer. Unless you don't want to go, I want to live life for the other, like you did, Jesus. Thank you for already declaring us for good. Now let's step in life, like you are life. Amen.
Wait.
Oh, you're gonna eat some meat sticks? You wanna put it with in your lunchbox with the cooling, the ice cream? Think it's good? Okay. Okay. After these events, Yahweh's word came to Abram in a vision. He said, "Do not be afraid. Abram, I am your deliverance. With your reward." Very great. Abram said, "Lord Yahweh, what will you give me when I am going to die childless? And the heir to my household will be a man from Damascus. Elazar. Oh, wait, not Elazar. It's Eliezer? I think so. We'll say Eliezer. Abram said, now, you have not given me offspring. In fact, someone from my household will inherit from me. But in fact, Yahweh's word came to him saying, this man will not inherit from you. No, only someone who comes from inside you. He will inherit from you. He took him outside and said, will you look at the heavens and count the stars? If you can count them, he said to him, that is what your offspring will be like. And he believed in Yahweh. When my mother died, I rode to her funeral with our rector. I say our rector, though he had arrived at the church only after I was myself ordained. And he... is that how you say that word?
Rector.
Oh, rector. Okay, I'm saying it right.
I thought you were doing it for the word ordained.
Well, rector means like a minister. My mother died. I rode to your funeral with our rector. I say our rector, though he had arrived at the church only after I was myself ordained. And he reminded me that one of the first services he conducted had been my father's funeral. While we were riding to my mother's funeral and telling stories about her, with a smile he recounted a particular conversation when she had asked whether he had ever felt he had given up too much in going into ministry. Whereas some candidates for the ministry go straight to seminary from university, I was one, and in this sense have given up nothing. Other candidates have had another career and have surrendered this to follow God's call. Our rector was like that. He would say he had sacrificed nothing and taken up the vocation he loved, but he had given up a lucrative job with prospects for a job in which he had no prospects beyond those of serving in the suburban parish like ours. Abraham had done something a little like this in refusing the king of Sodom's offer. He knows it, and God knows it. And God knows he is a bit worried about it. In the story so far, sometimes Abraham takes the initiative in reaching out to God, for instance, by building an altar. And sometimes Abraham just gets on with things, for instance, by proposing a solution to the conflict between his servants and Lot's. But sometimes God takes the initiative, for instance, in bidding Abraham set off for a new country. And this is one of those occasions. God tells Abraham not to be afraid. It is something God says to all three of the great ancestral figures in Genesis, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and also Hagar. And something God will subsequently, God will subsequently say to Moses, Joshua, prophets such as Jeremiah and Ezekiel, and the people as a whole. It is not that they are characterized by an unwarranted inner timidity. They will all have good reason to fear. Abraham had reason to fear in taking up the obligation to go and rescue Lot, though no fear is mentioned. But when God declares, I am your deliverance, he picks up the word Melchizedek and had used when commenting on how God delivered Abraham. More concretely, the Hebrew word for deliverance means a shield. God is committed to protecting Abraham. And speaking to Abraham in this way, it is almost as if God doesn't want him to miss out on seeing the ongoing significance of what recently happened. It would be a shame if Abraham failed to reflect on it, and it would be a shame if the people listening to the story didn't slow down for a moment and think about its significance. Have you got it, Abraham, and you Israelites? I shield you, didn't I? That was not just a chance or once only event. I am your shield. Abraham will have reason to be afraid again, and Israel will have such reason in different circumstances, and they need to remember that they are shielded. God's having been Abraham's shield meant the profit from his venture in Genesis 14 was very impressive. There is some irony in God's drawing attention to that, because Abraham had refused to be profited by it. That implies another possible reason for apprehension. Declining to be profited by his venture was an unworldly action. How can Abraham live in the world in this unworldly way? God's encouragement about this is vague here. Only at the end of the chapter will become more concrete. Meanwhile, Abraham's own apprehension has another focus. Even if he had all the wealth in the world, he has no one to pass it on to. The way he expresses this fear has some puzzling features. The reference to Eleazar comes out of the blue, though there is again some irony in the fact that this name means my God is a help, as Moses points out when he gives that name to his son in Exodus. That is roughly what God has just been pointing out to Abraham, but does Abraham really believe it? And maybe Damascus stands for the land to the far northeast where Abraham came from. You go through Damascus to get to Haran. In other words, his point is that if he had no son, his household would simply be collapsed into that extended family the same way that Lot ended up with Abraham. It'll be looked after by someone within the extended family, and indeed someone who belonged to Abraham's household, but not by Abraham's own offspring. Referring specifically to Damascus also makes a link back with the mission of the Pasuk, because it was beyond Damascus that they caught up with the Gang of Four. So Abraham's prerogative reference to Damascus again hints that he has not really had his faith built up by that victory. God had promised to give the country to Abraham's offspring, but he has no offspring. God cannot deny this fact. What God can and does do when a promise has not been fulfilled is simply repeat the promise. and an IMAX version. You know what he means by an IMAX? It's like movie theater version. So he's gonna have him see all the stars and rephrase his promise that he will have offsprings. And where I live, because of pollution or because our own lights mean it is never very dark, we can see no stars. Apparently about 73 sextillion stars are visible with the aid of technology. In the clear Middle Eastern sky, Abraham might have been able to see 1,000 or so. Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I already knew. Number.
How big is sex?
Hello.
Hello. We're looking
Hello.
up how big sextillion is.
A very big number.
Yeah, so here's hundreds, thousands, millions, billions.
Billion?
No, it's after.
It's past trillion. It's past quadrillion. It's past quintillion.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it's 6 of them.
So here's the crazy part, Char. Is there's 73 sextillion. So that big number times 73 stars out there that we could see with telescopes.
It's a big enough number where
Imagine
people can't
that times a-
actually conceptualize it. That's one of the issues with idle games.
Alright, Gary.
Hmm.
Imagine 6 trillion times 6 trillion. Times 73.
Yeah.
Don't make it so.
All right, so we're finishing up reading Uston.
That's cool.
All right. But apparently about 73 sextillion stars are visible with the aid of technology. In the clear Middle Eastern sky, Abraham might have been able to see 1,000 or so. It thus transpires that God was hugely understanding what would come true for Abraham. He will have a lot more than 1 or 2,000 descendants. But in the circumstances, 1 or 2,000 would be enough to satisfy him. And it did so. Though there was no logical reason for it. God gives Abraham no more basis for believing that God's promise will come true. Abraham simply has to believe God's word, and he does. He believed in Yahweh. Yeah.
No, the tiniest one was like.
Mhm.
And it was like that long.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Genesis chapter 15, verses 6b through 7. I don't sweat. And he counted for him as faithfulness. He said to him, I am Yahweh who brought you out from Ur of the Chaldeans to give you this country as a possession. On the day before his inauguration as president, someone asked Barack Obama whether he was sweating. Nah, I don't sweat, he replied. You ever see me sweat? Not yet, but it's early, a news report commented. When I was about to move to the United States with my wife in her wheelchair, I didn't sweat. But I was extremely grateful for a promise God gave me. After a seminary chapel service, a student told me that during the service, God had told her, tell John, Judges 18:6. Neither of us knew what this text said, so we went to look it up. And in the NRSV it says, go in peace, the mission you are on is under the eye of the Lord. In the TNIV it says, go in peace, your journey has the Lord's approval. It was a promise that made it easier to understand the move to which I was committed. Though obviously that required me to trust the promise. In effect, I counted it for God as faithfulness. In other words, I reckoned that it was indeed an expression of God's faithfulness and that it would prove to be so, which it did. There is a strange thing about the account of this conversation between God and Abraham. The words he and him keep recurring, and it is often hard to tell to whom they refer. Who counted what to whom? In the context, it looks as if Abraham reckoned God's promise to be an expression of God's faithfulness, which it was. But you could also see it as declaring how God assumed that Abraham's believing in God's promise was something that counted as faithfulness on Abraham's part. That is the way Paul and James take it in the New Testament. For Paul, it's an absolute key passage, putting us on the track of a fundamental feature of Christian faith. In his day, there were Christians who believed it was necessary for themselves and other Christians to live by the requirements of the Torah. You couldn't really be a Christian unless you did that. If you were a Jew who came to believe in Jesus, you had to carry on obeying the Torah. If you were a Gentile who came to believe in Jesus, you had to take on obedience to the Torah as part of being a Christian. There was a kind of logic to that. And Jesus makes it possible for Gentiles to become part of God's chosen people. it will be logical for them to start living by the Torah like the rest of God's people. Paul saw that this compromised something essential about the nature of Christian faith. Indeed, a biblical faith, that is, a faith as the Old Testament understands it, as well as a faith as the first Christians understood it. So you ready for clincher?
Yeah.
The only requirement of people who want to get into a right relationship with God is to come to trust in God, to trust in Christ. So is it about being nice? No.
It's about trusting.
Yeah.
Trust in the Father.
As if it was all that was nice, then technically I would, but I'm not because I'm not a Christian.
Oh, sorry. I was asking Charlie.
I know, but I'm saying like for his context.
Mm-hmm. And that's it. Like when you trust, so like I think of this way. You know, we are considered American citizens, right? So like as a kid, you know, sometimes you're asked to pledge allegiance to a flag. You just do it. You just
But
do
you
what
don't
you're
know
told.
why.
Yeah, you just do it. Now, what if, like, you get older, you're an adult, and you have sensitive, like, American material? So, like, you have information on you about NASA or, like, the Department of Defense. Like, you had, like, important, like, secret documents with you. You're carrying that around with you in another country, let's say China. You now always reckoned, because you're in enemy territory, in Russia or whatever, you always reckon that you have to do things now as an American citizen. You have to trust your citizenship to carry you through. Yeah, so now yeah, and we believe that trusting in Jesus, he deposits life in us. He declares us good. You don't have to do anything. Israel didn't do anything to become God's people. Christians don't do anything to join that people. Now, of course, doing counts, as James 2 emphasizes when it quotes this verse from Genesis. James points out that Abraham's faith was made complete by his actions when he subsequently offered Isaac to God. The kind of faith that gives you credit with God is the kind that issues in acts like that. If it doesn't do that, it can't really have been proper faith at all. In quoting this verse from Genesis 15, Paul and James thus safeguard against two opposite sorts of error. Some people reckon our relationship with God depends simply on believing the right things. James has met people like that. He knows Abraham's story shows this can't be right. But then there are people who behave as if our relationship with God depends essentially on whether we go in for the right kinds of actions. Church going, baptism, Holy Communion, foot washing, tithing. Paul knows Abraham's story shows this can't be right. In Romans 4, he emphasized that God's counting Abraham's trust in God as faithfulness happened before he did anything, such as get circumcised, which comes in Genesis 17. In Galatians 3, Paul makes the broader point that it was centuries after Abraham's day that Israel received the detailed requirements of the Torah described in Exodus and Leviticus. That shows vividly that the covenant relationship between God and Abraham didn't depend on Abraham's obedience to the Torah, but on God's grace and God's promise. So it can't be that our relationship with God is conditional on our doing things such as getting circumcised, observing the Sabbath, getting baptized, or going to church. Those things will follow, but they aren't conditions. So it's like, it's always the first part. Like, we believe Jesus. But it's like let's say for Robin, like, I love Robin. And so I trust her. And so I'm going to want to do actions to show that I love her. The Jewish theologian Martin Buber once drew a contrast between what Jews mean by faith and what Christians mean by faith. For Christians, he said, faith involves believing that certain things are true. For Jews, faith is a matter of trust in the person. So that's a good one. So it's about trust in the person. Do we trust in Jesus? What he said will happen, what he said is true. What he did on death and resurrection. A Christian may be horrified at that contrast because many Christians would say a personal relationship of trust is foundational essential to Christian faith. But one can see how Buber could come to his conclusion. Believing the right thing.
Okay, that's weird.
But one can see how Buber can come to his conclusion. Believing the right thing is important for many Christians, in a way as it is not for many Jews. Yet Buber could not have trusted in God were if not for some knowledge of who God was. Both facts and commitments are important for anyone inclined to trust facts. Abraham's act of commitment functioned as a reminder that faith is indeed a matter of trust, not mere believing the right things. There is a related point, in the way a converse one, for Jews and Christians. Faith is not merely a matter of trust, but of trust in a particular person. We sometimes refer to people of faith or to someone coming to faith as if it is the faith that matters. It is not the faith that matters, but the person whom you have faith. So, like saying like, okay, I believe. Okay, what? Okay, it's about who do you have faith in? It's always the who reference. Yeah. And so it's always focused on the person. And that's the great thing about the Bible narrative. Because as we look back into our story, look back into like our birth, how we're raised, we're always looking at people and their story. But Jesus is the grandiose, best story to look to and have faith in. Faith is useless if misplaced. And doubt doesn't matter so much if you're doubting the right person. In his account of the development of Christian witness in China and of the demands it placed on his faith, the 19th century missionary pioneer Hudson Taylor A switch? No, I mean, your switch buzzes? Does it buzz like my computer? That's just coil whirl. Yeah.
Whirl.
No, it's literally just. It just happens.
So it just happens eventually?
Not eventually, like some components, for whatever reason, put them under the right conditions, they make that coil whirl sound.
Because Dad doesn't know right now, and I just want to let him know like what's wrong with it.
Just coil whirl. Like the switch doesn't have any fans near any wires, to the best of my knowledge that I know.
My switch makes a buzzing noise,
Yeah.
but that's because of the fan.
So are you hearing the fan?
No,
He might be.
it's just.
If it gets very loud or there's something in it that's making it make a noise.
It's pretty loud.
Yeah, like I can hear it.
And coil 1 is a very high pitched thing usually.
Yeah.
I just want to know.
All right. In his account of the development of Christian witness in China and of the demands it placed on his faith, the 19th century missionary pioneer Hudson Taylor commented on how people pray, "Lord, increase our faith," despite Jesus' rebuke of his disciples for that prayer. In effect, he observes, Jesus said, "It is not great faith you need, but faith in a great God." Faith as small as a grain of mustard seed is sufficient if correctly located. Abraham did not merely believe, he believed in Yahweh. That's good. Yeah, well, like you could have the most tiniest of faith,
And it's still.
but as long as it's placed on Jesus,
It's still.
it calls it sufficient. So Abraham,
I know Jesus was like full faith on it,
But-
believe in him that much. He's still like.
so it's the tiniest seed on Jesus, and what do seeds do? They grow. It just, well, you gotta start somewhere. You gotta start somewhere. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. So got faith in the gardener.
And the goat.
You give yourself like a mustard seed to Jesus, and you just know that he is the author and finisher of our faith.
Yeah.
So he takes that seed and makes us go on the most craziest adventure for him.
Yeah.
There is no greater life than the one that gets their mustard seed to Jesus.
Yeah. I just like the name mustard seed because I love mustard on my sandwiches. Okay, but
So Abraham accepts and believes in God's impossible promise about innumerable offspring. God then reversed the other aspect of the promise of offspring and of a country they can live and go together. If there are no offsprings, they will not need a country. If there is a country, they will need to be offspring to live in it. God reaffirms the intention to give the offspring a country. What happens next is surprising. All right, you can start, friend.
mustard, no way Time to play next one, Skirt.
Turn his super down, please. Thank you. All right. How are you doing, Houston?
Doing well.
Nice. What are you up to?
Not much. What are you up to, my friend?
Oh, I started this
Work.
section. Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Do you want to enter the
All right, let's beat this Forgotten Hall. Great.
You're back into Honkai. I see.
Yeah, I'm a silly goose. I didn't finish this Forgotten Hall stuff.
Or did you?
I didn't.
And just reset?
Nope, I didn't. And so it turns out there's weekly stuff attached to this that I
Do
didn't
you
know
want to
about once you
enter the
finish it.
Forgotten Hall?
Now I gotta go. All right, so all right, we'll do that.
Oh, I'm gonna go then.
All right,
I just got called for.
okay. Let me
You
know.
enjoy your gotcha.
Okay,
They gotcha in it.
they did get me. Gotcha in it. See you, friend.
That was a pun, by the way.
Oh, what?
Did you not notice?
I did know it was a pun. That was me sarcastically going.
Okay, thank goodness, because there's some people that actually don't catch it. I know we've done that sometimes too.
I'm gonna make your stomach shake. Oh, what?
Later.
Later.
What the flip is going on? Right?
Mm-hmm.
What's up the giant gainer? Oh, right?
High threat target ahead.
Well,
A little something for everyone.
Rule of
Preservation! No disgrace.
Stay back, Clara.
You don't look so good. Time for mischief. Here I come.
Hide. Are you all right? Stay back, Clara.
Hey. Hello, Mr. Sora.
Mission
I'm on guard. Hit! Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
I'm not afraid of you. Look out!
As you command.
Lance at the ready.
Eliminating threat.
Onward! Let me tend your wounds. I need to be brave.
Annihilate.
I want to protect everyone too. Mr. Sora.
As you command. As you command.
What's in your prescription? Thanks. I'll never forget you.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Time for mischief. Here I come. Back off.
Stay back, Clara.
Need a doctor?
I'm on guard.
Target threat index lowered. Hide. Stay back, Clara.
I want to protect everyone too. Mr. Sora. Fight with me.
Hit!
Here I come. I'm not afraid of you.
Annihilate. As you command. As you command.
Let me tend your wounds.
Stay back, Clara.
Time for mischief.
Hide.
I want to protect everyone too. Mr. Sora.
As you command. As you command.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
You don't look so good. Like this.
I commend
Show your courage.
you.
Found. You'll pay for this. Lend me your strength.
Here, there's thunder.
That'll take more than medicine. Nap time.
Show no mercy.
Lend me your strength. We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them.
There's no time to lose. Conflict is pitiless.
More business, eh?
Not
What are you
yet.
waiting for? To betray my customers? I charge extra.
Time for a shot.
Executing annihilation. Executing operation.
Now they make two teams.
We're just having fun.
A foregone conclusion. Here, there's thunder.
Nap time.
Yep. Yeah, probably didn't even need to so playing this so next
Analysis complete.
time.
High-risk individual.
This battle is unavoidable.
Purge initiated.
Out. To betray my customers, I charge extra.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
1,000 thanks.
Calculating result.
Conflict is pitiless. Show no mercy.
You'll pay for that. That'll take.
Executing operation. Value exceeds threshold.
What's the face?
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them.
Follow my charge. Here is thunder.
Naughty child.
I owe you one.
Executing annihilation. Calculating result.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
1,000 thanks.
What are you waiting for? To betray my customers, I charge extra.
Conflict is pitiless.
More business.
There's always a weakness. Nap time.
Executing operation. Analysis complete.
We're just having fun.
Here is thunder.
Family.
Okay. Do better next time. It's like I did this. Is there any way to bring down my Ecrium level like you can? Yeah, I should have done this before. But it's my fault. Vernacular, yeah. Okay, it looks like I can't bring him down like you can. Alright, that's just sometimes going to
Do
have
you want to
accept.
enter the Forgotten Hall? Do you want to enter the Forgotten...
Alright, then we just gotta focus on their type. Then
You can catch me.
this is gonna be rough sauce.
When faced with an army, bide your time and time your attack.
Cool! No more playing nice. Seize the moment.
Was that
Stay
it?
back, Clara.
1,000 wonders to ring. Fight is fun.
A foregone conclusion. Show no mercy.
I need to be brave. Woohoo!
Stay back, Clara.
I want to protect everyone too. That's your Tara. Dodge this! Take this! Shape of the rise, Venus! We're not going anywhere! Yeah!
Here is thunder.
Want to see what I can do?
It's your command. It's your command. Stay back, Clara.
Welcome, customers. Yeah!
Stay back, Clara.
Conflict is pitiless. Show no mercy.
I'm not afraid of you.
Eliminating front.
No more playing nice.
Here, this thunder.
Look out! Can we talk? I want to protect everyone too. Help me, Mr. Storm.
Our position is solid.
Let me through. Dodge this. Take this. Rise, Venus. You're not going anywhere.
A foregone conclusion. Conflict is pitiless.
Huh?
Annihilate.
Let's be friends.
No. No.
Yeah. 1,000 wonders to raise. Minus one.
Show no mercy.
Command.
Too long behind the lines.
Let me through.
No, this is just for this group.
Yeah.
Hide.
Never.
Win no more than one down character. All right, let's do
Time
this.
for another round. Let's get him.
Wait, why did I do lightning? I thought you said you were lightning. Oh,
Found your weak.
he's a level 4. Just haven't rolled him, I guess, yet.
Scared yet? Who will it be? Haven't learned your lesson.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Just on your basic rolls.
Here I come.
Oh, not every 300. That's just a one-time thing.
When they keep
For the
quiet.
stars, give these trailblazers your blessing.
Is that all you got? Let me pay you back. Tenfold!
Oh, he's
Who invited you? Who will it be?
Your number is up. My turn. Wait for the toss. Time for mischief!
No manners, huh?
Look at the draw, please. And victory! Choose. Luke, fight to win.
Who invited you? Who will it be?
When they
Everything's
quiet.
ridiculous. Oh, stars, give these trailblazers your blessing.
Tremble before my power.
Yeah, I lost this.
Freeze to death. The eternal freeze will bury you.
But I want to know more.
There we go. Okay, so don't need you, but because I'm he'll be on this team.
Yeah,
He'll be on this team.
yeah.
I'm making this team. Yeah, I did build that last one wrong. Alright, I'll do that. Only 2 of these guys are. Because I have equilibrium up. So the cap went up. No, it's just there's multiple equilibriums as you raise your Trailblazer level. Not 1,000. I think maybe 100's the max, I guess. I think that's good. Alright, we'll call that good. Let's try this again. Alright.
I commend.
Show your courage. Cool.
High threat target ahead.
Seize the moment.
You'll pay for this.
1,000 wonders to fight as one.
This battle is unavoidable. Lend me your strength.
Hear the thunder.
Trouble.
Stay back, Clara.
I want to protect everyone too. Mr. Tora.
All right,
That
mission
it?
command. Target threat index lowered. Eliminating threat. Mission command. Stay back, Clara.
You'll pay for this. Lend me your strength.
There's no
We've
time to
entered
lose.
the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them.
Follow my charge. Conflict is pitiless. Show no mercy.
I need to be brave. Look out. I want to protect everyone too. Mr. Tora.
Mission command. Mission command.
Yep. Yeah, I got from that one.
I'm not afraid of you.
Eliminating threat.
Hear this thunder. Stay focused. For glory.
Are you all right? Stay back, Clara.
Hey, welcome, customers.
This battle is unavoidable.
Conflict is pitiless.
I need to be brave.
Annihilate.
You'll pay for this.
This ends here.
We've entered the storm. To guard and defend. Crush them.
Hear this thunder.
This battle is unavoidable.
Show no mercy.
You'll pay for this. Lend me your strength.
That's enough, so why not?
Troublesome.
Is that it? Our position is so.
Let's try this again. Hmm.
That's where like the funniest thing that I am. Give me yours.
Let's try again.
I commend.
Show your courage.
Quick, let's make a sneak attack. No more playing nice. Dodge this!
There's always a weakness. Lend me your strength.
Hide.
A foregone conclusion.
Stay back, Clara. Are you all right? Stay back, Clara.
Help me, Mr. Storm!
Mission command. Are you all right? Mission command.
Let me through! Take this! Shirai Venus! We've entered the storm. To guard and defend! Crush them! No more playing nice!
There's no time to lose. Here, this thunder! Show no mercy.
Dodge this!
Stay back, Clara.
Resistance is futile.
Stay back, Clara.
Is everyone okay?
Conflict is pitiless.
You're not going anywhere!
Take courage.
Troublesome. Lend me your strength.
Okay, she
Take
needs to
this! Rise,
run into that
Venus!
twist next time. We have too many skill-based characters, so I'll make sure to not pick Bronny at that time. Let me see if I can do that. If I could just equip the best stuff and then I'll be right back. Try this again. Actually, let me first finish this. Okay, I'm going for winning, so I'll just give him a healer now. Yeah, set. Make sure everyone on my team has the best stuff equipped. Oh, I guess you can't change things in the middle.
When faced with an army, bide your time and time your attack.
No more playing nice. Dodge this! Seize the moment.
Stay back, Clara.
1,000 wonders to raise minus one. I want to protect everyone too. Mr. Sora.
A foregone conclusion.
Here, this thunder!
Eliminating threat. Are you all right? Mission command. Mission command. Stay back, Clara.
Take this! Shake, rise, Phoenix! You're not going anywhere! Yeah!
Conflict is pitiless. Show no mercy.
Dodge this!
Stay back, Clara.
Don't your hands hurt?
Stay back, Clara.
Our position is solid!
Is everyone okay? Welcome, customers.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring out my ice person after this. That's what I'm gonna do. Replace her with Herta. Okay. Herta, there we go. There we go. Now we can beat it. We got this.
I commend.
Upgrade configured.
High threat target ahead.
Let's break his memory down.
No more playing nice. Oh dear.
A foregone conclusion.
Here, this thunder!
Time to twirl. Time to twirl. Oh no.
Stay back, Clara.
Great.
Stay back, Clara.
Do you know who I... This big diamond! It's all yours! I want to protect everyone too! Mr. Sora! Let me... You're not going anywhere! What are you looking at? Dodge this! Take this! Rise, Phoenix! Time to twirl!
Are you all right?
I'm okay.
Mission command. Mission command.
Time to twirl!
Conflict is pitiless. Show no mercy.
Eliminating threat.
Let me through! Dodge this! Oh dear! Do you know who I... This big diamond! It's all yours!
There's no time to lose.
Here, this thunder!
I need to be brave. Look out!
Our position is solid!
Stay back, Clara.
Time to twirl! I want to protect everyone too! Mr. Sora! What are you looking at?
Conflict is pitiless.
On my command! For glory!
Is everyone okay? Honored to meet me.
This ends here!
Take this! Rise, Phoenix! looking at? Do you know who had this big diamond? It's all yours! Time to twirl! We're not going anywhere!
Conflict is pitiless. Show no mercy.
Only one down.
Will of preservation.
Feeling lucky. A little something for everyone. When they keep quiet, they come.
I'm on guard.
Time for mischief.
Hit. Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Choose from strike. My turn. Let me tend your wounds.
Lance at the ready.
What's in your prescription? Tasty. Here I come.
Tremble before my power.
Freeze and victory. You don't look so good.
I'm on guard. Scratch.
A world devoured by ice. Witness the avalanche.
Time for mischief. Here I come. Follow hook and you.
Judgment of eternal winter.
Bully. My turn.
Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Wait for the tiles. Need a doctor? Vitamin! Tasty. What's in your prescription? Tasty. You could still surrender. Look at the draw. Freeze and victory! You're a good person. Here I come. Follow hook and you.
Tremble before my power.
You don't look so good. Vitamin! You're a good person.
Freeze to death. Witness the avalanche.
My turn. Let me tend your wounds.
Judgment of eternal winter.
What's in your prescription? You're a good person. No. Follow hook They come. Need a doctor? They are. You're a good
Lance at the
person.
ready.
Here I come.
Maybe you have them down with.
You are doomed to fail.
What? Yeah, it's whenever you break their thing with quantum.
Lance! Forward!
Look at the
Yep.
draw.
It like gathers up damage. You just want to keep on hitting them.
Victory! Let me tend your wounds.
A world devoured by ice. The eternal freeze will bury you. Judgment of eternal winter.
Luke, what's in your prescription? Tasty. My turn.
It's time. Lance ablaze. Lance! Forward!
Wait for the tiles.
You are doomed to fail.
Time for mischief. Here I come. Luke. Look at the draw, please. And victory! See the doctor? Vitamin! Tasty.
Freeze to death. Witness the avalanche.
That's fine. Memory of chaos. I'm so irritated that I just learned about memory of chaos. Oh, maybe I should have split them.
When faced with an army, bide your time and time your
Upgrade
attack.
configure. Don't your hands hurt?
Judgment is here.
I won't surrender. You're not going anywhere.
For your sins.
Follow my charge.
Come on. My turn. Luke.
Oh, so frustrated.
Do you want to enter the Forgotten?
Yes.
Do you want to enter the Forgotten Hall? Do you want to enter the Forgotten Hall? Sure. I'll try to answer to the best. The disappearance of those with form will inevitably look at the galaxy. After the incident with the Antimatter Legion, civilizations are like dying embers in the wind. Many worlds wither and crumble, even without Nanook's influence. That is why Garden of Recollection has decided to collect and safekeep their memories. Once the crisis ends, the fragments of those memories will shape a blue. Do you want to enter the... Do you want to enter the Forgotten? Sure. Ask away. Do you want to enter the Forgotten? Sure. Mm-hmm. I'll try to answer to the... Me? Are you curious about what I look like under this mask? Then bring me enough memories to exchange for it.
Huh.
Do you want to enter the... Do you want to enter the Forgotten Hall?
I knew there was more to this.
Do you want to enter the Forgotten?
Is it timed? Gosh, I hate it. It's timed.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you want to enter the Forgotten Hall?
So I need to focus on favor of Amber. Hunt of the path. So hold tab. I'm gonna look for the. No, hit escape actually. There you go. Be the picture icon on the right, the camera icon on the right. Hit escape. Well, then press R. Find a researcher that fits prominent description. So you just gotta hover over people and you'll see. So it's definitely not her. So just hover over people and you'll see like a little circle. Yep, it's to be someone in that circle. So just keep Put the camera over each person and see until you find a... So it's definitely not that person. Alright, what am I doing? Oh yeah. Let's bring in some support. Oh. Oh.
We need a strategy. Yo.
Time to twirl!
Land! Forward!
Time to twirl!
I'm fine. Hit! That! Yo. That!
I won't break. This big diamond, it's all yours!
Stand down. Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
Land! Forward!
Time to twirl!
Hit! That! Yo.
This big diamond, it's all yours!
Alright.
Reach the end of the story in your own way.
No, I didn't.
Do you want to enter the Forgotten Hall?
Alright, I can be patient. If it resets, it resets. Alright. Store. Alright. What? Let's work.
Okay.
Alright, Asta. She does. Alright. Alright, friends, I'm gonna go use the restroom. I'm actually going to get things ready to play some Marvel after the next reading, unless Houston gets on. Maybe we do something together, but I don't see Houston.